I'm going to have my fourth quarter exam in AP Geography and Awakening of Europe, and Filipino history about supremacy. Okay, number 1. Who are the following people and what are their stories? Number 1. Prince William, 1650. William the Silent's nephew married Charles the First, almost beheaded all of his children, and he saved one, his daughter, Mary. So Mary married William the Silent's nephew, William. In 1650, they gave birth to a son called William. But their country did not rejoice because he was weak and infant. When he was 10 years old, his mother went to England to celebrate his brother Charles II of reigning. She caught smallpox and died. So the children was left fatherless, motherless, and almost friendless. Almost friendless. The country thought of him as a danger to the country, and so they made John DeWitt their leader. John DeWitt became their good leader, and in the age of 15, William's friend was removed, and he pleaded for friends that has an energy that was pitiful, and he was nearly they changed him into a harsher imprisonment to The Hague, where John DeWitt wants to be heavily guarded, and then the refusal of having none of his friends affected his health. He could only breathe in the purest of the air and sleep raised with so many pillows. He learned other boys might have suffered from this, might have perished, and there was lines of uncomfortable things on his life, and other boys might have perished, but still he lives. He learned to self-control. He learned to keep secrets. He learned to keep his passion under a coolness of manner. And then he only spoke Dutch, but no English and German. At the age of 18, he showed them that he could speak something, and then he sat with the states of something. And then at the age 21, he became the ruler of the Holland. This is what happened. There was a great king named Louis XIV in France. While his friend Charles II conquered Dutch by sea, he will conquer Dutch by land. So he and his troops walked, and the Dutch were not prepared. John DeWitt thought that Leyden would be saved as it is saved last time. He opened the dikes, and there came water, and there are thousands of gardens that was buried. And there John DeWitt said to the French in English, "Why won't we go and have some peace?" And then the country said, "What? Have peace? You're going to sell our country?" So they turned their heads to their Prince William. And then forgetting what they all owe to John DeWitt, they killed him brutally they got assassins and killed him brutally in The Hague, and turned their heads to the William Orange. I mean their Prince William. Prince William and there the English and the French said, "Don't you see? You should sign the treaty of peace because your country is almost lost." And then William said, the country is not lost. He said like that. And then the country is not lost even if we die to save our country, like that. So Prince William fought and they saved Netherlands, and I mean they saved Holland. And then Prince William married Mary, the niece of Charles II, and he caught a smallpox, and then a faithful nurse nursed him gently. Just nursed him, and then he fought his way back to life. Wait, I have a question. Yung Prince William po ba lahat ng mga stories na included siya?
Yes, if you can recall everything.
Okay, there is also the next chapter, the invitation of William. So there, at England, there was Charles II, remember, has a son, and they know that Charles II will teach his son to be a Catholic like him, but England wanted a Protestant. So they planned something. They sent an invitation to William, and it said there that we want a Protestant leader. So we want you to fight Charles II, so that his son will not rule, or neither he will. So William thought about this. This means fighting his father-in-law, but he did not think of fighting his father-in-law, but fighting for, like Christianity, a Protestant fight. And also he thought that only his friends knew that even though he's very calm at talking, then he told one of his friends openly that he is very scared. So they prepared for a battle. William went and with a lot of ships and went to England, and then there Charles II got a lot of army, but he could not rely on his army because his army suddenly ran and went to William's side and tried to crush him. And then when he knew that Anne, his daughter, just have fled, and then he had to save his wife and his son. So when his wife and his son went with a faithful friend of his, a French friend, he said to them in the boat that they should go to France. But then at 3 o'clock in the morning, he tried to escape too, like what happened to them. But then William's soldiers caught him, and then William said unto him, since he is kind, he said, you could go to France. And then that's all. Oh wait, and there's another story that William is now, they celebrated that William is now King of England and Holland. So and also King William turned his eyes to Ireland, and also Charles II did not want to accept his defeat, so he went with his Louis XIV, the friend. So they turned Louis XIV and Charles II turned their eyes to Ireland and also William. So when they met there, Ireland wanted a Catholic ruler, so they helped Charles II. So when William went there, he saw the troops of Charles II, and then William's friend said, they are so little, we could defeat them. And then William said he knew that some of the warriors are hiding, so he said that no, they might be stronger than they look. So when they went down to the valley, a lot of troops that come from nowhere appeared. But since the Irish did not know how much to fight, they were defeated by again William. That's all. Number 2, the Turks. Okay, so there is Louis XIV, the King of France. There is also King William, the King of England and Holland, Peter the Great, the Tsar of Russia, and there are also Charles II with Louis XIV. We must not forget John Sobieski. John Sobieski is known for hating the Turks, and he has a lot of crusading minds a lot of crusading ideas, even though crusading are already done. And he is a Christian too. He is the king of Poland, but he's much more of a national hero. So there, the Turks is like very powerful. The Greek is like is a servant of Turks, like that in that time, and even Hungary also served the Turks. The Turks turned their eyes to Vienna, Austria. Now, Austria was not prepared for a siege, but their king is not a warrior, so he moved his court to a far away place, and to know what will happen to his kingdom. So there, the Turks arrived. They camped near the city of Vienna. There, the Turks have their Grand Vizier and the Prime Minister. Their tents were of green silk, it was said there, and were covered with golds and gems. When the Grand Vizier went out of his tent, his clothes is even embroidered by gems and emeralds and everything. Every day, and they just come around the city of Vienna, and one of the men that always look at the church steeple saw that their ground is grown inch by inch. Their invitation to John Sobieski, even though he already answered, he still didn't came. There, they grew. The boy that always went to the steeple, he noticed that their camp is growing inch by inch, and there was sickness and famine came to their land. Still, John Sobieski did not came. Even the Turks have even started firing, but still John Sobieski did not came. John Sobieski, although he is stout and small, he still went his way. And then when he saw the outskirts of Vienna, he saw like Eugene of something, and then other princes from France. They were asked help also from Austria, and then King John Sobieski said, "Let's go and fight them." And then when they fought, the Turks did not know cowardice, so they continued and fight. And then some of the Grand Vizier's helpers, this Grand Vizier said, "Can't you help me?" And then he said, "No, I know John Sobieski. I know him. We will be like defeated." And then the Turks went away. And then Vienna became happy. They did not know if their king would be happy with John Sobieski. That's all. Number 3, the Huguenots. So there, as I said, there is a King Louis XIV. There are some Huguenots that lived in his parts in France. Now, they are not Catholics. They are like some kind of, I guess, some kind of Lord server, and there he like King Louis the 14th, he like an act of something. I forgot what what act, and then what act is it, and then it was said that the Huguenots will stay there, and if they should choose to be Catholic, or they shall die, or else they shall die. He said like that. So the Huguenots were surprised at this. Some were killed, but still they kept on their faith. Some tried to escape. A lady with power, dressed herself as a peasant and carried her baby in a shawl. One also, wife and a husband and wife and their baby, they dressed themselves as orange sellers, and they went to England, and with their donkey there they lay their babies. And then some browned their faces and went outside. Some were captured. Some were
Pretend?
some pretend that they were peddlers. Some even tried to
You may use Tagalog, anak.
kabaong, I don't know, or coffin. When the coffins were put to ships to England, and that's how. And then some, even when they tried to peddlers, when some went to England, Greece and other. And then there was a man of title, King Louis the 14th loved him so much. He said, "Come and be a Catholic." And then he said, "Sir, I have served my 60 years for my Lord, and I shall still stay faithful like that." And then King Louis the 14th spared him. And then some of the Huguenots went outside of France and told the story of their life. And this is how France began to fall from their power. That's all. Number 2. Will you describe to us the European map and the countries on it we have encountered so far? So, I guess this is the European map. And there is the France, Spain, France. The ilalim of it is ilalim of right side, Germany, and then downright and left side
Can we use the southeast reference like that?
Okay, I guess on southeast of southeast of France is Germany. Southwest of France is Spain, or it's just south of Spain is just south of France, and then west of Germany. Germany's other countries that are near him, I guess, is Hungary, Austria. That's, I guess, all I know. And then there goes above France, northern of France, there goes Netherlands. Since the Netherlands is near to some of the islands, the South Islands, there goes Sweden, and then Sweden near, and then I guess France western north is England, and then England's west island, there goes Ireland, and there is also Russia, and Russia and Turkey, and then Greece. And then beside Greece is almost near to Greece is Venice. And that's all. Number 3. Kindly retell the story of the capture of Supremo up to his death. Okay, so Supremo, when his visitors went out, his visitors went out, the visitor like closed the gate of their very exit, and even guarded some of Supremo's guards. Then Supremo said to his 3 men and go and run to the visitor and ask why did he do this. And then the visitor said, I owe you no explanation. The next day, they came with a lot of more troops, and then there was a guard said, and then they said, call the Supremo. And then the guard said, wait, I'm going to inform the Supremo. And then, angered by the answer, they shot gunfires. Even Sicario Bonifacio died because of the gunshot. And then Bonifacio, hearing gunshot, went outside and said, brothers, like that. And then when there was a gunshot that came and killed a man beside Andres Bonifacio and said, what, who you're shooting? He's a Tagalog like you, he said like that. And then there goes Insikpawa, who stabbed hit in the neck, and then there was one who raced with Insikpawa, was going to make another stab, but then there came another who wanted to kill him first. So Insikpawa fought the one man who wanted to kill Bonifacio first. So there, and then Bonifacio used soft words. What are you doing? And then the visitor said from Bonifacio, give us the money. And then Bonifacio said, I have no money, he said. And then they wounded more Bonifacio, and then he was laid in a hammock. When Bonifacio woke up, it is very weird to find him in his own headquarters as a prisoner. And then Insikpawa also hid the others in the bathroom. They wrote a letter to Emilio Aguinaldo that Boton, yeah, I guess it was Boton, I don't know, it just like me. He said that he used Boton means use soft words but will not soften the hard heart of Andres Bonifacio. He even answered with the gunshots and fires. And that was a lie. It was actually the opposite. Andres Bonifacio was the one who used soft words, who tried to soften the hard hearts of his fellow Katipuneros. So there, when he was laid in a hammock, still wounded, Oriang tried to dress him, but she was forbidden. And then there was a tendera who saw the hammock, and then she lifted the clothes. She ran to an officer that she knew, and then she said, who is that? And why is he laid in a hammock? Why is he wounded? Why won't anyone dress him? And then the officer just ran and then come back. He said, anyone who mentions the Supremo's name shall be put to death. So there. So there was a trial when Andres Bonifacio was there. They said, the court said that, how many times did you told Girgon that, oh wait, before that, Girgon told Emilio Aguinaldo that I was the one who's going to kill you if you didn't stop our, no, not that pala. No, not that pala. There at the court they said that to Andres Bonifacio. How many times did you tell Gergon to kill Emilio Aguinaldo? And he said, I never did that. And then he said, how many times? Why did you give money to the soldiers to kill Emilio Aguinaldo? And then he said, no, I didn't. It was because of the fight. And then, no, I didn't. Andres Bonifacio said, it was just because of the fight. And then and I just paid him 100 pesos because they won. It's just my parang ganun daw po. And then there came more injustice court trials, and then more injustice. There is one, I forgot who wrote this, but it said that when you see them, their face as brave as crying and speechless face, inside they are fighting against the unjust words said to them, even though they're very quiet. And he said, even when Andres Bonifacio died, I don't know, he said something more like that to his friend. And then Emilio Aguinaldo, when he was working, he saw like a letter, and then we said, why would we kill Andres and the Bonifacio? We should just exile them in the mountain Buntis like that, or in the Mount Tala like that. And then there goes Pio del Pilar and Noriel. They said Noriel, they said, no, don't show any pity to Andres Bonifacio because we were about to draw lots, and then into our meeting, if you didn't did that, you might be dead in someone's hands right now. And then they said, please don't show no pity, they said to him. And then Emilio Aguinaldo showed no pity again and he said, you have to shoot him. And then Noriel wrote a letter to Major Mangkapal or something, wrote a letter, and he said, when you went to Mount Buntis and went to Mount Tala, there in Mount Tala, you should read this letter and do what it is read, and do not read it and follow my orders, said Noriel. So he said yes. There are two versions of what happened. This version he told to his fellow Katipuneros. There, while they were walking, Andres was on a hammock because he was too weak, with his brother Procopio Bonifacio. They were brought to Mount Buntis, and then to Mount Tala. When Major chose a comfortable spot, and then there were guards surrounded Procopio Bonifacio and Andres Bonifacio. He opened the letter and read it, and his lips trembled. He was speechless at some time. He felt some pity, but this is what he's ordered to do. Then after he had read, Procopio said, Kuya, and then he hugged Andres Bonifacio, and then Andres Bonifacio had tears, and then Major just looked away because he could not bear it. And then when he looked back, the deed was gone. They were shot to death. Here is the next version of this. He wrote a letter to someone. This is the next story. When he was told to do this, they had a friendly conversation on the way. Andres Bonifacio said, are we going to be shot? And then Major said, maybe not, maybe just to keep you away from the war and let you exile, I don't know. And then when having their friendly conversation, they're almost at their right spot. Andres Bonifacio said, we're almost at our destination. Why won't you open the letter? Then when he opened the letter, he began to pity the Bonifacios, but he feared more his superiors, like that. And then he read it, and then first Procopio came in. Procopio said to Bonifacio, "Forgive me, brother." And then he was like walked into some deep forest, and then they shoot him, and then they buried him. And then Andres Bonifacio, "You killed my brother, now let me go." And then Major said, "I'm sorry." And then he said, "Forgive me, brother," said Andres. Although Andres is saying, "Forgive me, brother," there is nothing to forgive. He did not do anything wrong. So, "Forgive me, brother," he said. And then Major said, "I'm very sorry." And then Bonifacio began to run away from them, and then they ran with Bonifacio, and they killed him, shot him, and then he was shot dead, and they buried him. There was a question in this story: how did Bonifacio run when he was badly wounded? There was like, I forgot who is this woman. Like a woman, he said that, "Why won't anyone dress Bonifacio?" And then it was said to her, this woman, that no one is allowed to do that. And then when that woman saw Andres Bonifacio talking to a visitor, she did her chance to heal him. That's why he can run. At that day, Emilio Aguinaldo, at a little years later, Emilio Aguinaldo said that if there was more time, I should have said that this is so brutality to Noriel. But it was said on his memoirs that if it was okay, that I could, in my mind, I already shoot him, like that. And he said very bad words to Emilio Aguinaldo. There was a friend of Bonifacio said that Bonifacio is like, there is a tao na may pangalan ng mga A, ng mga B. It was said there because anyone who mentioned supremacy would be put to death. That's why it's ng mga A, ng mga B. And he said that to mark his words, that fear the history, for none of your deeds would be hidden, like that. And that's all. Number 4. What do you think of Gen Emilio Aguinaldo as mind behind the capture and death of Supremo? Even though he's a good leader, I agree he's been doing good things, but there are some characteristics that I don't like about him. I think I really don't like him. It's my opinion. I think I really don't like him because he's always doing. In his memoirs, he wrote very bad words to Andres Bonifacio. This was said to the book too. But when he was interviewed in the next years, he excused himself in some various ways. So that means Emilio Aguinaldo don't want to admit his sins since he's the president. He's very, like, I guess, selfish. He think of himself that he's very, very good. Because look, he's saying that, I agree, Noriel's idea is very bad, but in his memoirs, he agrees with Noriel. So I think he's a traitor. He's a traitor to Andres Bonifacio and to us. That's all. Number 5. What are the characteristics or words that you admire Supremo Andres Bonifacio that needs to be seen in Filipino use? I guess the word that I admire, when the last word, I guess, in the book, like, fear the history, for none of your deeds would be hidden. I guess that is very true because in history, you know the bad guys and the good guys and their secret deeds, and like what happened to Emilio Aguinaldo. And also, I also like this one when he said, like, fight for your country. It is better to die for your country than to die fighting for your country than die doing nothing, like that. And he also said to his sister that I don't want to sit working. He want to, like, have sweats so that he wants to work hard so that he, do things. He said that to his sister once. And that's all.